Hey, what's up YouTube? Brian Fagioli here. And today I'm looking at something very, very cool. This is a computer from Minisforum. This is a company that makes small computers, small desktop computers, kind of like an Intel Nook. They make a lot of different models, and this is a new one. And outside of the box, there's really nothing. Let's see. Where to email for service, made in China, and there's no details about the computer. And off the top of my head, I actually forget what the specs of this machine is. I believe what makes this one stand out, I think it has, I want to say it has a ninth gen Intel processor, core processor. I'm not sure which, an i5 and i7. I'm not really sure. But what really makes this stand out is I believe it has NVIDIA graphics built in. So let's just take a look at this thing so I can play with it. And I'm typically an AMD guy, and I think Minisforum does make a machine that is powered by Ryzen now. But this particular one is very interesting because, like I said, it has NVIDIA graphics, and this should be a really great box for Linux, especially if you're doing some light gaming on Linux as well. So let's take a look and see what's in the box. So we have a little manual here, Minisforum New Gen EliteMini Computer. Does this have specs on it? It has some information about the computer, the power button, the reset hole, and that's a different language. And it looks like power adapter comes in the box, a mini DP cable, DisplayPort, comes with an HDMI cable, and some VESA mounts, so in case you want to mount this in the back of a monitor. Wow. The power adapter included in the box will vary depending on the model and region you purchased. Okay. This is interesting. This looks to be a grill or like a filter. Is it magnetic? I'm not sure if it's magnetic. I don't know if this goes on the top of the system, if it's like exposed. Let's see. And I'm gonna flip the box. Hopefully it all comes out nicely. Ooh. That wasn't a nice sound, but it came out. All right, let's see. All right, so the computer's right there. Here is the VESA mount if you want to put this in the back of your monitor. Piece of foam. We have the power adapter. And I am in America, the United States, and so I have this here plug. If you get this for a different region, it'll probably come with a different plug. But yeah, so here's the USA plug. This is the, let's see, the power brick AC/DC adapter. It is certified to be safe in the United States, made in China, of course. We then have an HDMI cable. HDMI to HDMI with these nice little dust caps to protect them. And then we have mini DisplayPort. I don't know why this cable comes in a bag, the other doesn't. This one is DisplayPort to mini DisplayPort. So I'm guessing this computer does not have a DisplayPort on it, and that it uses mini DisplayPort with that dongle, with that wire, to output to DisplayPort. So let's take a look at the computer. Whoa, okay, so here's the computer itself. We see on the front we have a headphone jack, like a 3.5 millimeter audio adapter port for headphone and mic. We have a power button. On the side we have pretty much nothing. And then on the back we have HDMI, the mini DisplayPort. We have Ethernet, probably gigabit Ethernet I'm assuming, I'm pretty sure. And then 4 USB Type A ports. Interestingly, there are no USB Type C ports from what I can see. But we do have on the side here a micro SD card reader, and then, line in, mic in, and HP out. What is HP out? You know, I don't know what HP out means. I don't know if that, HP out. So line in and mic in, but then on the front we have a jack for like a headset, which should also do microphone, but okay, you have a dedicated microphone port, line in, HP out. Could that be like, I'm not even gonna guess. So then we have, this is the computer, and from what I can see here, I don't think they included any specs. We see on the top some kind of, I believe that's graphics. It looks like a small GPU on the top, and I'm guessing this snaps on to keep dust out, and then you can keep it clean, because you can see inside there's a cooler. But what's interesting here is I don't see any specs for the machine, and I would have assumed that the company would have included that on the box or something. So at least when you buy this, you would know that what you've gotten is the correct thing without having to like boot it up. Let's see. But let's see if I have a screwdriver handy. And we can open this bad boy up. Let's see if I can find a quick screwdriver here. Here is a screwdriver. Let's see if it's too small. Hopefully not. We'll be able to open this guy up. I'm assuming it opens the same way as like the Nooks. Oh, yeah, it's too small. But sometimes you can flip it and use the flathead. Let's see, will that work? I think that's gonna work, guys. All right, I'm assuming that's how you open this up. That's how it looks to me, is that we just take off the screws for the bottom. Oops. The screws are not coming out easily. They're kind of tight coming out. That's why I was like a little bit worried that maybe this isn't the correct way to open it up. And it feels like even with, let's see. Does that come out like that? Okay. So I'm just gonna take off all of these screws. And again, you'd want a decent size, regular size Phillips head to do this. I just don't have one handy, so I'm using the flathead, a small flathead, which gets the job done. Wow, these screws are really hard to turn, and you gotta turn them a lot too. But what's the fun of one of these little computers if we don't open it up? And I wanna say it's like an NVIDIA TI 1080 or something, like a, okay, all right, yeah, that is the correct way to open this guy up, is with the screws. So let's keep on going here, because the bottom plate is definitely starting to lift up. And we'll just keep turning. That's out. I know sometimes people watch my videos and they're a little long and such. I don't really edit down, so you get the full experience. You can pause it, you can fast forward it. Like if it's taking too long for me to remove these screws, I get it, but you can fast forward if you want. I'd rather show everything so that people can get the full experience if they desire that. So, on the bottom, let's take a look and see what we have here. So, there is an let's see, M.2 slot for, let's see, is this a bay for a, this is an interesting design. So, okay, so here we have the Wi-Fi card. Let's look at that first. We can see what exactly that is. So this is an Intel, let's see. Of course, the tape covers up the model number. Just wanted to see if it was an X or an AC. It's an AX200 card. So this has wireless 802.11ax. This is Wi-Fi 6, very nice. Then you have this M.2 slot here. We have over here another M.2 slot with, let's look at the SSD. It is a Kingston 256 gigabyte. Oh, and it's a PCI Express card. Okay, cool. So it's not a SATA-based drive. So this has this nice PCI Express SSD ready to go. It has Wi-Fi 6. You then have this other M.2 slot over here. And then this tray appears to be for a 2.5-inch SSD or hard disk drive, I suppose, if you wanted to put in. And you have this cable here to connect for power and data on your SATA drive. So to take off this is the question. How do we get this off? Because I want to look at what's underneath it. So it looks like we have 1, 2, 3, 4 screws to take off the tray. This I could probably use the Phillips head end. Let's see. At least I believe that's, there we go, how this would come off. Still a little bit small, so we're gonna use the flat head on the Phillips. And that's working good, okay. I'm assuming that's how this tray comes off. It looks like it's just 4 screws that hold it on. So we're gonna unscrew that. Just wanna see how easy it is to get to the RAM, which appears to be right underneath this as well. So that's 1, 2, 3. And there's a 4th screw right here. I don't want to lose those screws. Turn this to the side. And we can now look. The 4 screws are on the table, good. At the RAM. So we have a single stick of Kingston, 2030. There's the model number. And we do have an open DIMM here, so you can upgrade the RAM. Does this say? I'm trying to see how many gigs this is. I want to go out on a limb and say it's 8 gigs. But then you could, of course, upgrade this to like 16 by adding an 8. I always try to buy the same stick for dual channel and just having, you don't want to mix RAM when you can avoid it. So you have DDR4 A1 and B1, so you have the 2 slots. And I really wish there were specs here. I'll put the specs of this machine and the exact model number. GPU power right here, look at that, GPU power. And you'd really have to do some more work to get to the GPU on the other side. I think it's like a 1080 Ti. I'll take off this. Or actually, that's off already. So you can see there's a big copper heat pipe going there. You have 2 fans. And the question is how loud is it going to be, I guess? Wow, look at that cooling. So you can see this giant GPU is stuffed into the top. So this would be good. This would definitely make a really nice Linux machine, I'm assuming. Something with like Pop! OS, which is an Ubuntu-based operating system. You can easily get the NVIDIA drivers running and going. Everything should work great. You have the Intel AX200 Wi-Fi card that works with Linux without issue. It's nice that you have the PCI Express, the NVMe SSD, Kingston for both the SSD and the RAM. You can upgrade both of those. You can upgrade the Wi-Fi card. And this is interesting, this M.2 slot up here. I don't know if that's like, I don't really know what that could be used for. I mean, I'm assuming you could put an SSD there. It does say, let's see. M.2 SSD. I mean, of course you can put an SSD there. I'm just curious if it's a SATA, if this is SATA or not. There's like this weird, it's weird. It's not part of the board. It's like there's a ribbon cable that comes off the board and goes up into this. And the weird thing, it's really weird. And then these are coming off of the same card. So this same, it's like a riser card, but it does audio and the SSD. I just don't know what HP out is. I don't know if that's video out with one of the like, there's like a 3.5 millimeter out like camcorders used to use where it would do video out and like audio, like it goes from 1 to like, the red, white, and yellow type thing. I don't know if that's what HP out means. I feel so bad that I don't know what that means. HP out. But there you go, folks. That's this computer. And I will have to get the model number. Of course, I'll put the model number in the description of the video and in the title of the video. There is a sticker there. It says H31G. Cool. But this is some really nice engineering here. I mean, it's a lot packed into this little computer, especially with the GPU on the top. Usually the Intel NUCs that you'll buy, it's a small PC, runs great, but then you are just stuck with Intel graphics, which aren't bad if you're not looking to game. Like if you're just looking to like watch 4K video or something, that'll be fine. But if you're looking to do any type of gaming, the Intel graphics will not cut it. If you get a NUC that has Thunderbolt 3, you could always use an external GPU with those type of things. But having built-in GPU here is really interesting on such a small machine. I'm looking forward to booting this up right now, and I'll get the specs. Again, I'm pretty sure it's like a 9th gen Intel chip, and the NVIDIA graphics. I believe it's a 1080 Ti. I could be wrong, and I'll put in the description if I'm wrong, so sorry about that. So if you have any questions, put them in the description below. Again, let's see, look at the bottom here. We see, I don't know if this is the model number of it. It says BES 2007 2300 1H31G 08256 PR20039. Cool. There's the metal bottom plate. And let's see. Cool. All right, folks. Thanks so much for watching the video. I'll get some more information about this computer and add it to the description. Have a great day. Bye-bye.